All right, players, I think there's a really important skill that if you're a golfer, you should know how to do this, okay? Not that golf related, but it's how to regrip a club, okay? I feel like a lot of you guys just don't know how to do it. It's not that hard. You don't need a bunch of fancy stuff, vices and things like that. And it's good for just when you need to regrip a club. I mean, I get not wanting to do them all 13 clubs. You drop that off at Golf Galaxy or PGA Superstore, that's fine. But let's just say you got a grip that's shot, or you picked up a new club and you want to play it and you don't feel like driving over to the store, talking to the folks, dropping it off, picking it up. Like, you could do all of this in just a couple of minutes if you just have a couple of basic tools. So I'm gonna go through it really quick. First thing you need is a hook knife. They sell these at the golf store, they're cheap. You'll need some double-sided tape and you'll need some solvent. Those are the three main things you'll need. In this particular case, I am taking off a grip off one of my old irons. So I'm gonna grab a different iron, timeout, and we're back. Taking a grip off one of my old irons just because I want to put like a training grip on. So the same thing is going to apply with the real grip, but I've been messing around with my grip a little bit. I just want to add a training grip. You'll see this training grip is actually a little short, so I'm gonna have to maybe remove some tape. Normally, when you pull this grip off, you won't need to do much with tape ever unless you really mess something up. And even if you do, it's not that big a deal. So I'll show you a couple extra tools for tape that just make it easier. They're not necessary though. So to start, we take our hook knife. We slide it in here. We're not going straight into the shaft. If it's a steel shaft, you can't hurt it, but do be a little careful. If it's graphite, I'll go more like an angle. So I'm not digging into the graphite. And always away from you with these knives, okay? Away from you. So hook knife, we slice through. There we go. And we peel off this. So that's step one. Piece of cake so far. Now, this club has just one wrap of tape on it. And it's gonna be a little too long. I'm probably not gonna mess with it because this is just a training club. Here's the thing. If the tape is in good shape, you don't even need to like take it off and reapply new tape. You don't have to do that. You can just solve it right over this tape and the grip goes right on, piece of cake. If you need to build it up, let's say you need to add a little bit of tape, you would like 2 extra wraps or whatever, you simply would take your roll of grip tape, start it at the bottom, however long that grip is, give yourself like a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch at the top to roll it in on itself. Add whatever amount of tape you want and then go from there. If you really have some problems, like you want a total refresh, I use a blowtorch to heat this up, not burn it off, not light it on fire. Do keep this away from the solvent, but I'll blowtorch this to kind of heat up the glue, and then you can use it's called a grip tape tool, or $5 at the golf store, and you can just peel it right off real easy. It's easier than doing it with your fingers, but not necessary. So anyway, back to what I'm doing here. All I'm gonna do is apply this grip to there, and actually what I am gonna do, since my grips are a little bigger than this training grip, I'm gonna get 1 wrap of tape on there, so let's do that. Boom. I don't need since it's a training grip, it's already different size and everything than my real grips, but just to make it a little more realistic. So, throw that on there. I mean, this is gonna take me longer just because I'm talking. I mean, this is like a 5-minute job at the most for a club. And I'll do this, I'll do my driver and my lob wedge, since those are the two that get the most use. I'll do those probably 3 or 4 times a year, anytime they start to get slippery, because nothing feels better than new grips, right? New grips feel amazing. Taking them into the golf store and going through all the rigmarole is really where the pain is, especially if you have to drop them off and pick them up, and it's like 2 trips. Like, we can just do this ourselves. We don't need all this stuff. And then we just take the top and kind of mash it in on the tip there. Okay, now, if you've never done this before, the biggest key to the first times you do this is just go nuts on the solvent. Like, the biggest problem people have is they don't use enough solvent, okay? If you do this a couple times, you get to the point where you use the right amount and you won't overuse it. But if you have to, you just use a lot, okay? So in this particular example, I've got this set up for the solvent. Now, normally I just do this outside, but it's freezing. I've got a trash can with a trash bag in it and some paper towels in there. And then I've just got a big towel on the floor that I'll be using in case there's any drips. So let me actually move the camera. All right, here we go. Solvent. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill up the grip all the way, okay? So the grips have a little air hole in the bottom. Put one finger over that so the solvent doesn't leak out. I'm just gonna fill it all the way up. 5 or 6 or 7 squeezes. So now the grip is full of solvent. And then I'm gonna kind of slide it around. I mean, fill it up if you have to. Just don't, like I said, don't underuse the solvent. That's the one mistake people make, because then it sticks on the way and you'll have to probably peel it off and throw that grip away and start over. But we're just coating this all the way. I'm just spinning it around in my hands as I do this. And I'm going to try, if this was a real grip, I'd have the logo up. And when I go to put this on, I'm gonna hold my club so that at least when it goes on, it's kind of like close to the right orientation. Now, I'm just gonna dribble this over the tape. Slowly, I'm trying to have it fall straight off so we get all of it. And just to be safe, because I'm making this video, I don't have that many training grips, I might take a little solvent and just kind of, spin it around. I just want to make sure that the tape is all the way covered in solvent. And then I take my grip. I'm going to pinch the end to make a little, pinch the end to get it over the bottom. There we go. And then once it's over, just slide it on careful. Some will shoot out the back. We're on there. Use my towel for my hand. Put that aside. Now, I'm just gonna dry this off. I'm probably have to cut this. I should have probably done the tape, but I'll just take a knife and cut that little bottom piece off. And now what I'm gonna do, the grip is on. I'm gonna smash it on the towel a couple times and just kind of pull it down a little bit so it's kind of make sure the butt end is all the way on down to the grip. And then I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna start spinning it around until it's in the orientation that I want. So with this training grip, going for a certain orientation. If you have a real grip, you're just kind of making sure that the logo is lined up and that you're just kind of sighting down the grip. You can just kind of twist it around, at least for a little bit while it's all wet. You can move it around for like probably 10 minutes before it starts to set. And then decide where you want it. Now this is, trying to decide where I want this training grip. I've not done one of these. So I think my tendency, this is a lot easier with a real grip, just to be honest. There we go. We'll leave it like this. Yeah, something like that. All right, now, last step. Let me move this camera back up here. Fat fingered the recording. So now, the grip is on, it's still wet. I'm gonna wipe it all down. I'm gonna grab my other knife here really quick. Since I left a little bit of that tape, like I said, I should have probably gotten rid of that tape. I'm just gonna slice that off of there. I won't take too much work. Who cares? I'll wait till it dries. Then the final step, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk it over to the sink. And here we are at the sink. Run a little hot water. Spray a little dish detergent on there. Do a quick wipe off the butt end, wipe off the shaft just in case any of that solvent leaks around. Give it a quick once over. Dry it off. And let it sit for about a day, and then it'll be good to go. I'll cut that extra tape off of there tomorrow, and then I always like to make sure my hands are clean. Now, as far as the trash can goes, it's got some solvent in it. I'm just gonna set that outside and let the paper towels and stuff kind of evaporate for a day, and then I'll just throw that in the trash, and it shouldn't be a problem. But that's it. Doesn't take very long, and it doesn't take many materials. You can totally do it yourself, and it will save you lots of time and trouble. I would order like 10 of the grips you like, put them somewhere in the garage, and just, that way you're not, spending weeks playing with a bad grip or a grip that doesn't match or something like that while you're waiting to get to the golf store and do all that. So Hope that makes sense. It's a skill you should know. It's not that hard. Doesn't need any extra materials. Go get yourself a grip and do it.